ready to wear? What's the real cost of owning these pieces, and is it really worth it? And are some categories of designer clothing a bit more worth it than others? I am going to be going into the weeds with this today. But I feel as though we have to define what is ready to wear. So, ready to wear comes from the French prêt-à-porter. I cringed too. I felt, it didn't feel right. It really didn't. And as the name suggests, this is a kind of clothing that needs minimal alterations with a particular set of pre-made sizes, as opposed to haute couture or bespoke clothing. Now, in which case, I think that we would all agree that all clothes that you could go out and readily buy in any store, be it designer, be it not designer, is ready to wear. And that is true, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use a specific definition that New and Lingwood have given on their website, and that is, excuse me while I read it, often described as a way of making haute couture more accessible. Garments are made in small production runs to guarantee uniqueness and quality. We'll be coming back to this, rather than mass-produced in factories. Ready-to-wear collections are often shown by designers during fashion weeks. We also know that ready-to-wear ranges hugely in price, right? From, off the top of my head, let's say like a Coperni top, let's say around the £200, $200 mark, all the way up to a Chanel ready-to-wear jacket that's $10,000. There is a very large range, and whilst I am not the Chanel jacket 10,000 purchaser, I, over the years, have amassed quite a collection of ready-to-wear pieces, and so I wanted to sort of share my experience with those, be brutally honest on which categories I actually think are worth it and which are not, and also why. Why buy designer ready-to-wear? Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're going to love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. I'm just going to speak for myself, and I think that there are two main reasons that I keep sort of coming back to. But I would also like to say, my little get out of jail free card, you accepting? Grab it, please. Sometimes I'm not responsible, and sometimes I don't stick to these particular reasons for why I buy ready-to-wear. Sometimes I'm a logo ho, and I got suckered in. But you know me, I'm going to be honest with you in those moments. But the two main reasons are, and the first one, uniqueness of design, style, pattern that you can't get anywhere else. I do not sort of buy my basics from designer fashion houses, right? My basics, a long sleeve top, a bodysuit, your black legging, all of that. I'm probably going to go to a Walford and other stories I like, Uniqlo, all of those kind of spots in between. If I'm going to spend money on designer clothing, I do it because there's something a bit different, a twist there, a uniqueness, and a point of interest that separates it from the standard versions of that thing. This, oh gosh, I love this jacket. It's this amazing Balmain biker jacket. Oh, when you put this on, the way that the shoulders are constructed, they're so, you feel powerful, you really do. You feel as though you could snap your fingers and rule the world. And that is what really does tend to sucker me into a lot of these ready-to-wear purchases, because they make me feel fabulous due to those little bits of extra detail or the way it's cut. The cut of this jacket just, it sits heavy on the shoulders, and you can't, honestly, you can't tell me anything when I have this jacket on. I am the be-all and end-all. Let's take it back to Viv because she knows what she's doing. I am using a lot of jackets as examples, but it's the first thing that came to mind. The way this frames and cinches in, the fact that it's a little bit asymmetrical, it's so her. You know, it's very recognisably Viv, and again, you wear it and you just feel like, oh, aren't I a fabulous little princess? Yes, I am. But sometimes it's not down to cuts and design. Sometimes it's down to the fact that that brand is the originator of something. a Versace silk shirt. This is what they do best. And these are the type of pieces that it's so true to the core of the brand that in how many years' time it's still relevant. And also something like that you can wear in a number of different ways. And versatility is a huge factor in buying ready-to-wear pieces. Now, the second reason why I tend to buy designer ready-to-wear is the quality aspect. You do hope by paying, you know, these expensive prices that you can feel that quality, when it's on you. Like I said, that Balmain jacket, the way that it just, oh my gosh, knowing that the quality of the manufacture is good enough to withstand that length of time. These things have been bought with the knowledge of, this isn't for a year, this isn't for 2 years. This is something that I hope to keep for the majority of my life. Maybe I have a fabulous Christie's auction in my death. But anyway, one thing when it does come to ready-to-wear that you have to keep in mind is that your sizing. I also don't tend to fluctuate too much in my weight, probably up and down 2 kilos, around the same sort of weight. And because of that, I maybe feel a bit more comfortable buying these things because I know, at least for the time being, maybe this is all going to go tits up if/when I have children. But until that point, based on previous history, I think I'm probably going to stay around the same size. Diving into the costs, there are 2 main costs when it comes to buying designer ready-to-wear. Number 1, the dry cleaning cost. But some ready-to-wear doesn't need dry cleaning. Some of it can go in your normal wash cycle on a low heat, all of that. Some of it, I literally just plucked some stuff that I could pull out as an example. This lovely little fabulous trendy JPG top that I've got. What does this one say? This one isn't going to be a dry clean. This is a hand wash, right? And a lot of sort of newer washing machines now have a hand wash or a delicates option, and I would feel very comfortable throwing something like this in, right? Some do need dry cleaning, and this is something that you have to keep in mind with ready-to-wear and the amount that you plan on washing/dry cleaning the item. Certain categories might require more cleaning, more dry cleaning costs than others. For example, a lot of designer knitwear, let's grab you, Loewe anagram jumper, what are you telling me here? I'm not gonna lie to you, it's still hieroglyphics, these little washing machine icons. Do not wash, do not dry, do not use bleach, do not iron, and it's got to have a specific type of solvent. So this is, yes, a dry clean only. Not necessarily something that you want to risk throwing in your washing machine, putting on a delicate cycle and hoping for the best, because guess what? It's going to come out, it's going to be the size suitable for a Barbie. It's happened to us all. Something like this you are going to want to wash more than, let's take, for example, a jacket, which also happens to be dry clean only. There is a way to sort of extend your time in between dry cleans with something like knitwear and with jackets and all items, is that you can steam it, because the temperature of the steam should kill bacteria. But it's not something that you only want to steam them. You will eventually want to take them to the dry cleaner. And the second cost is the cost per wear. We love this word when it comes to luxury fashion because it helps us justify our purchases. Some items, the cost per wear is very obvious, that it's going to be very low. Let's take a simple t-shirt. Simple t-shirt, you're going to wear that all the time. Cost per wear is going to be through the floor, it's going to be tiny. However, I don't think it has enough style or design value to warrant it being a part of, for example, my wardrobe. I'm playing devil's advocate here, right? Because some people love designers like The Row, okay? And some people swear by their The Row t-shirts, and I will only ever buy a $300 The Row t-shirt, and it's worth it for me because the cost per wear is so low. These are also items that, let's remember, need to be washed often and have a high chance of being replaced often. I prefer to sort of buy pieces that, although I won't wear them on a daily basis, some I'll wear more often than others, right? Especially seasonally coats and things like that. And I do tend to steer more towards the statement pieces because those are the pieces that really I value if I'm going to spend that amount of money, and it comes down to the personal valuations of these things. So I think thinking about what kind of cost per wear do you value, I tend to value maybe a little bit more sort of long-term cost per wear. Like, I might not absolutely cram in all of the wears in the next few months, but this is something that I intend on dipping out years and years and years and years to come. Let's take, for example, my Versace little, I'm going to call it my resort set, because I can't think what else to call it. It's a pyjama top and shorts, to be honest with you. I love it. I bring it out every summer. You know I do. As soon as there's a little bit of sun outside, as soon as we're over 25 degrees, let's get the Versace set out. It's her time to shine again. Now I'm going to do a very quick run through of categories, and I'm going to tell you whether or not I think they're kind of worth it or not to invest in from a ready-to-wear standpoint. Jackets and coats. These ones I think tend to be worth it. I think that you can really see some of those extra twists and interesting things in design and cuts, and I'm trying to find an example of one. And you can buy smarter, knowing the sorts of styles that are going to work for you now and in the future. For example, my blue Akenvas coat. We know I love this coat. It's a great coat. I'm going to be wearing that coat till the cows come home. And you don't tend to need to wash them as often as something like knitwear, which we're going to get into. I think knitwear, to be very honest with you, is not the best category to buy if you're looking at value, bang for your buck, blah, 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 when it comes to ready-to-wear pieces. They need to be washed often. They need to be maintained. This one, for example, she needs a shave. She really does. She needs a little bit of fabric thing, so that's probably what I'm going to do after this video. A little bit of TLC needed there. Oh, and there's hair on the back, and we're pretending like we didn't see any of that. T-shirts, simple tops, things like that. Have I fallen into the logo tee trap previously? Of course I have. Right, little Balmain t-shirt. The Givenchy, you know what, I'm not going to put the Givenchy, I'm not going to slander the Givenchy Bambi tee in there, because you know she's an icon. Obviously the exception to any of these things is if you put it on and you feel like, oh my gosh, I can rule the world, shout out to Take That, then it's all worth it. It really is. Because at the end of the day, it's how it makes you feel. You should feel like a better version of you, a more confident version of you, your alter ego, your Sasha Fierce. Jeans is one that the turmoil around jeans buying is a universally experienced, specific kind of hell. We've all been there. We've all gone, do you want to know what, I need a new pair of jeans, gone somewhere, tried on 7 and left empty-handed. You've gone home, you've cried into a bowl of popcorn, and then it took you 3 months to build up your self-esteem again. We've all been there. And when it comes to jeans, I don't think you need to spend a lot of money. I think that your typical denim brands, Page, I like Frame, they know what they're doing. You need to try and find the kind of jeans that work for you. Do you like it to have an elastane in it, a little 1-2%? I do. I know I like a bit of stretch. Or do you want a raw denim, and the brands that cater more to that, like your Reduns and things like this? There are brands like Good American, 10 out of 10, and I think their jeans start from $100, and they tend to have seasonal sales as well. Brilliant jeans. I have nothing bad to say about them. They've got a wide range of styles and sizing as well. And then last year, I bought my first pair of designer, these are very obviously Gucci, let's be honest. Why did I buy them? A, because I liked the way that they fit on me. That's great. But let's be honest, the biggest reason was I'm a logo hoe. So you know me, hook, line and sinker. This is a style that suits me, my wardrobe, so it was worth it to me to buy it. Last category, resort wear / swimwear. Swimwear's a bit of a weird one because my mum is somebody who has a Chanel one-piece swimsuit, and every time we go on holiday that swimsuit comes out. Cost per wear through the floor. Whereas I am somebody who, due to cuts actually, don't tend to prefer the sort of big designer brands when it comes to swimsuit, because they tend to cut straight across, and you know, I've got a bit of hips and I like a more of a high cut that I tend to find from very specific swimwear brands that don't tend to be designer. Again, I think if you buy like if you have a classic Burberry bikini and that style works for you and you like the way of the cut and everything, then that's something that, yeah, bring her out every holiday. Now, another part of resort wear that I wanted to talk about is sort of like caftans, silks. They look great. keep in mind the dry cleaning costs, because that's something that, yes, you're going to need to clean often, and they can be a little bit tricky. Now, before I close this video, I did also want to talk about the option of pre-loved, right? When it comes to ready to wear. I think there's a lot of deals to be had that can cut down the cost of ready to wear, as we've been discussing, through buying pre-loved options. I know somebody who pretty much only buys her cashmere from the Real Real and pre-loved sites, and she gets like Laura Piana and Ralph Lauren Purple Label and all of that for $40 a pop. There are great deals to be had, so that's another way to cut down the cost. But look, I know some people aren't necessarily a fan of sort of pre-loved clothing and things like that. Totally understandable. I just wanted to mention it as an option because maybe that's something that you haven't thought about. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.